friends, I'm Whitney, your host with Needles Embroidery. Thank you guys for watching another episode with us today. Has 4 snaps, 2 on each side, and it opens up and turns into a jumbo size reusable pad. This has several layers of cotton fabric, including 1 layer of fleece and 1 layer of this really soft minky dot fabric. Minky works just fine with this too. So I'm going to show you how I make this. Now, the one I'm making on my machine is actually a revised version of this reusable pad right here. And I revised it because when I started flipping it inside out, my fabric started fraying and pulling at the seam. So I redid it so it would not have any problem when it flipped inside out. And the hole to flip it inside out is really small, but it's at the very bottom. Now this pad would be used for a nighttime pad or for really heavy people who bleed really heavily. And so my initial thought was, I do a lot of work and designs for mothers and people who just had babies, and when I had my daughter I went through pads like crazy, so I figured a reusable pad would be a great way of kind of getting to the design that you want, but also saving on money. And my husband thinks this is totally gross, and in a sense it is. What I will be making is a complimentary bag to go with this. So if the moms, and it would be waterproof, so if you want to see how I make that, you can just leave me a comment and I'll know that that is something that you guys are interested in. But these actually roll up pretty compact. You will need some waterproof lining fabric, and I got mine from Hancock Fabrics, and I got pretty much all that they had. But the standard color is white, and since it's going to be on the inside, I didn't really care what color it was going to be, but this is fantastic. It is fairly thin, so if you want to put 2 layers down just for security, go right ahead and alter the design how you would think that your customers would like them, or how you personally would like it. I would think that 1 layer would be enough, because there is quite a few layers of fabric on this design. Okay, some other things that you're going to need for this project that I have used on this are snaps. I got mine at Hobby Lobby and used my 40% off coupon. It comes with this little like snap gripper from Dritz. I hope I pronounced that right. I apologize if I'm not. And these snaps right here, they're already pre-packaged for you. There are several new colors out that I would love to try, but since this is something fairly new for me, I figured white would just be a good standard color. Like I said, you're going to need your waterproof fabric, you're going to need your minky dot fabric, and then your cotton print, as well as a fleece or a flannel, depending on how thick you want it. I've been using fleece, and any color of fleece will do because it's going to be on the inside. And then you're going to want your pattern fabric, and I am using rose fabric today. And that rose fabric was purchased at thefabriccobbler.com, and Scarlett has an array of beautiful fabrics for you to choose from. If you so choose to order from the Fabric Cobbler, please tell her that Whitney at Needles Embroidery sent you. Alright, so let's get started. You are going to need a large frame or a large hoop. I am using the 360 by 200 millimeter frame, which is the 14 by 7/8 frame, or excuse me, hoop. And the other thing that you're going to need is this stuff right here. This is the no-show poly mesh stabilizer, and I get mine in long, and it's fairly pricey, but I use all this on my bibs, nursing pads, and now my menstrual pads, my reusable pads. So I'm trying to think what else you might use them on. I use them on a lot of stuff, but what I love about this is it does not stretch, and minky tends to stretch. So I put this down first and then put my minky dot fabric on top of it, and it's perfect. Okay, so let's get started, and I'm going to aim you guys down here at my workstation. Okay, open that up. And this fabric is going to be the only one inside the hoop. So it's going to be really snug in there. Now this, I only have one size at the moment, and that is the night pads, or the large, extra large pads, but I may start trying to make the smaller ones. And on those, you can get more than one. But for this project, you can only get one pad. Alright, now I'm going to get my other fabric ready. Okay, here is my beautiful floral pattern. Okay, I'm going to cut my fleece fabric to fit inside my hoop, as well as my minky dot. And I'm just going to float those and do the tack down stitch on both of those layers. And then it is going to stitch the center tack down or placement guide for the center panel. And I am using 2 layers of minky dot fabric and a layer of my cotton print from the fabric cobbler. So it's going to do the tack down stitch on the minky dot, and then my cotton print goes right down on top. And I was holding this down because I didn't move my cotton print far enough over, so it kind of bunched up. But when you do this, just kind of move it in place where you need it to be. So I trimmed around it, and now it is doing a zigzag stitch to secure the center panel in place all the way around. And then the last step is going to do a tack down stitch in the center panel, and this gives it a little bit more security. Next is the top layer, and I have my waterproofing and my cotton fabric, and the cotton fabric is going to be face down on the minky dot because we're going to flip it inside out. It will expose the pretty side. Alright, it's finished. The next step is to take it out of the hoop and cut around the pad. Now I cut about a 1/2 millimeter to the pad, like to the stitches, so I don't cut my stitches, but it's enough that I can still flip it inside out and there's not a lot of bulk. So here's a close-up of the pad, just about a 1/2 millimeter. It's perfect distance from the stitches. All of our layers are there, looking good. Okay, all I'm going to do is cut around that and leave a tab for at the bottom so it's easier to flip your pad inside out. Around the opening I am leaving a tab, and this will actually tuck in really nice so we can sew that with our sewing machine when we're done. Now it's time to flip our pad inside out, and you're going to take those fabrics, the top fabric and the back fabric, and you're going to put your hand inside all the way to the end here and flip these back. Once you get this, you can actually pull the rest of it through the opening. Just start it. So you can see our no-show mesh right there. It's a really thin lining. I love that because it has no bulk whatsoever. Alright, flip that out really easy. Alright, so what I like about this is I have most of the bulk on the top layer right here, which it's really good because you're going to need that to catch all the blood. And then there's barely any bulk in the back. These are washable, machine washable, and you can machine dry these. So now it's time to put in our snaps, and that takes a little bit more time, but I will show you exactly how I do that right now. And it's going to catch underneath like this. It's going to be perfect. Okay, I'm going to put in my snaps. For this particular pad, I'm going to be using 4 snaps. You can use 6 for extra security, but I believe that 4 will be ample. I am using the piercing tool and this clamper to help really press those snaps together. So there are 2 parts to the snap, and the back side is what you see here. It's just a dome shape with a pin through it, and then you put the male or female part on top of it and clamp it together. There we go. Alright, you ready for this? Snap. Snap. Sweet deal. Alright, now let me try snapping it. Fold that inside. Of course, you're going to sew that up. And roll it up. Ta-da! Alright, my friends, that is how you make a reusable pad. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video. If you like our tutorials in general, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Head over to our Facebook group page and join our community of enthusiastic embroiderers. We are there to encourage one another, and so if you have a tip, trick, product that you want us to try, or if you have a current project that you're working on, post up a picture and we will praise you for a job well done. Thank you so much for watching. I'm your host, Whitney, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye! If you missed out on our last tutorial on how Alyssa sews that really cute tote bag, click on the picture below and it will take you directly to that video. Thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye!